Good morning, children. Today we'll study a new chapter, Human Health and Diseases. This is one of the very important chapters now because we are facing with these problems also, health problems, and so we should know what precautions we can take, how to keep ourselves healthy and fit. Now, so what is health? A state of complete physical, social, and mental well-being. What is state of physical? Physical means your all organs of the body are functioning properly. You are mentally mature, and in the society also you have no tensions, you have good relationship, and so you will be a healthy person. It's not only the absence of disease. We have to be physically fit, mentally fit, and socially fit. Now, what factors affect health? Sometimes there are genetic disorders. What are genetic disorders? Disorders which occur in a person since birth, like certain diseases which are present in a child since birth, like sickle cell anemia, hemophilia, color blindness, sometimes AIDS. So these are some problems which occur in an individual since birth. In certain diseases which may occur through infections. Infections means through pathogens like bacteria, viruses, protozoans, fungi, worms, and the most common problems which is affecting the health is now lifestyle diseases. There are precautions for infectious diseases. There are a lot of cure is available for lifestyle. It is due to us. Like lifestyle diseases are due to lack of exercise, not eating proper balanced food, worries, tensions. They may cause diabetes, they may cause high blood pressure, heart problems, liver problems. So, a number of problems are occurring due to our lifestyle. So, these are the lifestyle diseases, and these can be prevented by adopting a good lifestyle. Now, how can we achieve good health? We should be aware about diseases and their effect. Nowadays, we are all facing the problem of COVID-19. So we know how it is transmitted, what precautions we have to take. So for every disease, we should be aware about the symptoms of the disease, how can it affect, so we can take proper precautions. Second thing to prevent from diseases is vaccination. Vaccinations, if we take for certain diseases like measles, mumps, rubella, hepatitis B, chickenpox, typhoid, we can prevent ourselves from these type of diseases. Then proper disposal of waste. This is one of the very important point, because if we keep our surroundings clean, there are less chances of getting any disease. Control of vectors. If our surroundings will be clean, there will be no flies and no mosquitoes, because these are the ones which transmit diseases from the dirty areas to us. Maintenance of hygienic food and water resources. The food should be washed properly, cooked properly, then hygiene, personal hygiene also. We should keep our nails clean, hands clean before eating food. The water which we are consuming should be free from the disease causing pathogens. So these are the important points by which we can achieve good health. Now, what is disease? When we are not feeling comfortable, dis-ease, not feeling comfortable, that is a disease. In any of our body system or any organ is not functioning properly or is affected, that is known as disease. And how can we know about it? Because there are certain symptoms and signs like headache, stomachache, fever, cough. These are the signs of any disease. Now, types of diseases. Infectious. Infectious are the diseases which can be transmitted from one person to other person. So they are mostly caused through pathogens like bacteria, viruses, etc. We are going to study about them in detail. And non-infectious are the diseases which cannot be transmitted but will remain in that individual. Now, these can be due to certain reasons. They can maybe deficiency diseases like deficiency of vitamins, night blindness, beriberi, scurvy, deficiency of iron, anemia may be caused, or deficiency of carbohydrate, protein. Second, maybe due to some allergy. A person may be allergic to some dust particles, some any food item, or pollen grains. So they are allergies. Sometimes diseases which may occur in the old age. These are called degenerative diseases. Then addictions, diseases which are due to addictions, due to drugs, due to alcohol, due to consumption of tobacco. Then sometimes cancers, high blood pressure, liver problems, kidney problems, mental disorders. These are all non-infectious diseases. Now today we are going to study about infectious diseases. The first one is typhoid. Now, the causative organism is Salmonella typhi. You have to study them properly, and it is in a very simple manner, so it will be very easy for you to learn them. And how can we know that we are suffering from typhoid? Because the symptoms are same: fever, chills, loss of appetite, stomach pain. So when this problem occurs, the fever remains for 4-5 days and it does not subside. So we go for a test that is known as Vidal test. So it can be detected by Vidal test. Causative organism Salmonella typhi detection by Vidal test. Now, what are the symptoms? Sustained high fever. The fever for 102 or some remains for many days. And then the person does not feel to eat. Loss of appetite. If there will be loss of appetite, what will happen? Weakness. And this bacteria affects our stomach and intestine area. So there is pain in the stomach, constipation, and headache. Sometimes intestinal perforation. Holes are formed in the intestine which may sometimes lead to death. But very occasionally it occurs. And now what is the mode of transmission? Most of the diseases which occur in our alimentary canal go through the fecal oral route. Fecal oral route means the germs are present in the feces of a patient. And when they are transmitted outside, they may contaminate the food or water bodies. And if we consume it without cleaning it properly, the germs may enter our body. So food and water contaminated with feces of the patient, or in short we also call it fecal oral route. And the incubation period is 1 to 3 weeks, means the symptoms of the disease will occur after between 1 to 3 weeks. This is incubation period. After the entry of the pathogen, the signs and symptoms when they occur, that is known as the incubation period. So this is your typhoid. Now preventive measures. What are preventive measures? Again, proper hygiene. Water body should be clean. Personal hygiene should be there. Food and water should be clean. Proper boiled water we should consume. And main thing is your hygiene. Personal hygiene as well as the hygiene of your surrounding. And then a vaccine is also provided for this typhoid, and it may protect you for 3 years. Now we will come to the new disease that is known as pneumonia. Pneumonia is a disease of lungs, and the causative organisms are Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae. Now, what are the symptoms? They affect the lungs. So there is cough, headache, then fever is there, chills means we feel cold. Lips and nails may turn grey to bluish in color in severe cases. Now what happens in this mode of transmission of this disease will be through air droplets or aerosols. Whenever a person sneezes or coughs, the droplets may come outside, or the sputum, the mucus which comes from the nose or throat, it may contain the germs or the air droplets. So it may affect the surrounding area, it may affect the utensils, and if these are not cleaned properly and these are used, so the other person may also be affected. Now what happens in this? The lungs capacity of carrying of the lungs becomes less. Why? The lymph and mucus accumulates in the alveoli, and due to that what happens? The amount of oxygen in the lungs becomes less, so the person feels problem in breathing. So this happens in your pneumonia. These are two bacterial diseases. Now common cold is the disease which I think so every one of us have suffered. The causative organisms are rhinovirus. Now what happens? You can yourself imagine when we have flu, nasal discharge, nasal congestion, throat will become sore, itching in the throat will be there, and headache is there, tiredness is there. And it may take about 1 to 7 days to recover on its own. And the incubation period is about 3 to 7 days. And now again, how will it be transferred? Again, inhalation from the droplets from the infected person. You will see if any one family member is affected by this viral flu, the most of the family gets affected, because the air droplets near the person may have those pathogens which can be taken in by others. Disease spreads by sputum of the patient. The viruses are transmitted through inhalation of droplets resulting from cough or sneezes of an infected person. Also spreads through contaminated objects such as utensils, books, pens, etc. Now next is your malaria. Malaria we are going to study in detail. After that is your amoebic dysentery. Amoebic dysentery is a disease which is caused by protozoan Entamoeba histolytica. Now in this, mostly it also affects the abdominal area, the stomach area, and abdominal pain and cramps. The person who consumes this, because if you'll see, amoeba mostly makes a cyst around it, and when this soil or any food article having the cyst is taken in, it reaches our stomach, and stomach nothing will happen, but in the intestine, the trypsin, due to the trypsin enzyme, the cyst wall gets ruptured and the pathogens move out. So they may affect our intestine portion, and they cause a lot of pain and cramps, and sometimes blood and mucus also is present in the stools. What are stools? The waste food which is thrown out of the body. So these are the symptoms of amoebic dysentery, and incubation period is about 2 to 4 weeks, and mostly this pathogen lives in the large intestine of humans. And what happens here? It starts eating the red blood corpuscles, and that's why the blood discharge is also there. Now next stage of ascariasis. Ascaris, I think so you have seen also. Ascaris are worms, and commonly they are known as roundworms. Now what happens in that? Again they also affect our stomach portion. Internal bleeding, muscular pain, they block the intestinal passage also. Fever, anemia. Mostly it is more common in children because they have a habit of eating soil and clay, and mostly the eggs are present in the soil area also. What happens in this? Abdominal pain may occur, and sometimes they increase in such a large number that they may block the intestinal passage, and sometimes they may move to other organs of the body also. And for them, the treatment is mostly when we take those deworming medicines by which they may come out of the body. Sometimes we do not see the whole organism coming out, but sometimes they are matched up in the intestine and they are thrown out of the body. So this deworming medicine should be taken once in 3 months. Now next disease is your elephantiasis or filariasis. Elephantiasis, as the name suggests, the area where this worm infects becomes swollen. Mostly it is the limb, lower limb, or the genital organs. And in India, these two worms, Wuchereria bancrofti and Wuchereria malayi causes. So causative organism, Wuchereria bancrofti and Wuchereria malayi. Now what happens in this? Chronic inflammation of the organs in which they live for many years, and gross deformities of the lower limbs. If you see in your book, you will see the diagram. The limb of the person looks like an elephant. That's why it is known as elephantiasis also. And it is transmitted through a mosquito, female Culex mosquito. And this disease is not cured also. Only once the deformity occurs, it will remain like this, but we can take precaution by taking the deworming medicines. Now next is your ringworms. Ringworm is a fungal disease caused by the fungi belonging to the genera Microsporum, Trichophyton and Epidermophyton. And see children, these infections mostly occur through soil or by using towels or combs or cloth of the infected person. And in this, dry scaly skin appears and a lot of itching occurs in that. And when we itch in that area, and with the same hand we use it for itching our head or something or the other area, these worms, these fungus may be transferred there also, and they are very difficult to be cured all. Sometimes they affect your skin, hair, nails. So these are the different diseases which are caused by pathogens, and the main points which are given in this video or some from your book, almost like this you have to learn. Causative organism, symptoms, precaution. If there is any test for that, this you have to learn, so it will be very easy for you to learn. Okay, thank you.